A particle of charge q and mass m is subjected to an electric field E is equal to E naught into 1 minus ax square in the x direction. The x direction, where a and E naught are constants. Initially, the particle was at rest at x is equal to 0. Other than the initial position, the kinetic energy of the particle becomes 0 when the distance of the particle from the origin is. So, here there is electric field. There is a electric field is applying along x direction. This is the electric field. This is the electric field. Electric field. Now, a particle of charge q and mass m is subjected to an electric field. So, this is a particle of charge q. Okay, it is subject to the electric field. What is the initial velocity of this charged particle? Initial velocity of the charged particle, this is x is equal to 0. Initial velocity of the charged particle, initial velocity of charged particle is 0. Why? Because the charged particle starts from rest. The charged particle starts from rest. Now, according to given problem, final velocity of a particle, charged particle is equal to 0. Final velocity of a charged particle. Why? Because we want to find out at what distance kinetic energy becomes 0. So that here the final velocity of a charged particle is 0. Here the force acting on the charged particle is a variable force. So, work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. So, work done is equal to 0. Change in kinetic energy means final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. So, here work done is equal to integration of f into dx is equal to 0. Why? Because this is a variable force. So, in the case of variable force, integration of f into dx total work done is equal to 0. Okay. From 0 to, for example, we assume that at x distance the kinetic energy is 0. From 0 to x, f into dx. So, integration of 0 to x, what is f here? Force acting on the charged particle in electric field, that is equal to Eq into dx is equal to 0. So, integration of 0 to x, E means what? Here E means they given E naught into 1 minus ax square into dx is equal to 0. Right. Now, we have to integrate above equation. E naught into q. Right. E naught into q. Take outside. In 0 to x, 1 minus ax square dx is equal to how much? 0. 1 minus x square is equal to 0. Now, here E naught into q. On integrating above equation, we get here integration of 1 dx x, okay, minus a into integration of x square x cube by 3 is equal to 0. On putting the limits, we get same value here. Now, we write here, we start from here, x minus ax cube by 3 is equal to 0. Okay, x is equal to what we get here, x is equal to ax cube by 3, x is equal to, now 3 by a is equal to x square. Now x is equal how much we get, square root of 3 by a, square root of 3 by a. That means at this particular distance the electric field becomes 0. So our option is option 3. Option 3. A small ball of mass m is thrown upward with velocity u from the ground. The ball experiences a resistive force mkv square, where v is the speed of the ball, where v is its speed. The maximum height attained by the ball is, the maximum height attained by the ball is. So this is a ball. This ball is thrown upward. This ball of mass m is thrown upward direction. Okay, when the ball is moving in upward direction, then there is a resistive force is acting downward direction, that is, that force is mkv square. And also there is another force is acting vertically downward, that is weight of the ball, that is mg, that is mg. So this ball is moving up against these two forces. This ball initial velocity is u. Definitely the ball is going with retardation. At somewhere its final velocity becomes 0. Its final velocity becomes 0. So now we want to find out what is the maximum height attained by the ball. Maximum height attained by the ball. So here maximum height attained by the ball we want to find out. F net is equal to, here the force is acting, two forces are acting downward direction. Those are mg plus resistive force mkv square. But F net we write F net as ma, that is minus ma. Why? Because a is the retardation. The ball is moving up with the retardation, that is equal to mg plus mkv square. Now a is equal to what we write here, minus of g into k plus v square, minus of g into k plus v square. So we know that a is written as in terms of velocity. A is equal to v into dv by ds is equal to minus of g into k plus v square, k plus v square. Now we have to integration above equation. So here v dv by g plus k v square minus is equal to ds. Okay, we have to integrating above equation from initial velocity u to 0, minus of v dv by g plus k v square is equal to integration of ds from 0 to maximum height h, 0 to maximum height h, 0 to maximum height h. So how we integrate above equation? Put here g plus k v square is equal to t, g plus k v square is equal to t here. Now here differentiation this equation, d of dt with respect to t, g plus k v square is equal to, here we write dt. Here what we write here? dt. Right. Here we get whenever we differentiation this equation, finally we get here 2 kv dv is equal to dt. So, v dv is equal to what we write here? dt by 2k, dt by 2k. Okay, put this equation in above integration equation. Now, we write here minus of integration u to 0. What we write? v dv here dt by here v dv. v dv is equal to we write here dt by 2k, dt by 2k into t is equal to here we write h. Integration of ds is equal to s. S means that is s. Now, here integration 1 by 2k, 1 by 2k minus 1 by 2k, integration of u to 0 here 1 by t dt, that is equal to what we write here h. So, integration of 1 by t log t. So, minus 1 by tk 2k log t, okay, limits are u to 0 is equal to h. Now, interchange the limits so that here the negative sign vanish. So, 1 by 2k into log t here 0 to u is equal to maximum height h, maximum height h. Right, 1 by 2k here log t means how much? G plus k v square, g plus k v square is equal to h. So, 1 by 2k here this is 0 to u. Now, log g plus k u square minus here log g is equal to h, log g is equal to what we get here h. Now, 1 by 2k here this is log a minus log b, log a by b, log g plus k u square by g is equal to h. So, 1 by 2k here split the bracket, log what we write 1 plus k u square by g, that is equal to how much? h. So, this is the maximum height reached by the ball. Okay. So, our option is option 2. Our option is option 2. A series LR circuit is connected to a battery of EMF V. If the circuit is switched on at t is equal to 0, then the time at which the energy stored in the inductor reaches to 1 by n times of its maximum value is. So, this is LR circuit, LR circuit, and this is connected to a battery of voltage V, and there is a switch is attached to the circuit, this is S. Now, here what they ask, if the circuit is switched on at t is equal to 0, so then at what time the energy stored in the inductor reaches 1 by n times of its maximum value. Energy stored in a inductor, we know that of Li square. This formula is used, of Li square. That means here u is equal to of Li square. right, u proportional to here I square. Now we solve this problem as u by u maximum is equal to I by I maximum, I by I maximum whole square. Now here after time t seconds, what is the current in the circuit? We know that formula I equal to I naught into here 1 minus e to the power of minus r by L into t. We know that equation. R by L, L by R is the time constants here. Now u means what here? According to given problem, after time t seconds, the energy stored in the inductor is 1 by n times of maximum energy. U maximum by n is equal to here I means here I0 into 1 minus e power r by L into t whole square divided by I0 square. Maximum current in the circuit is I0. Okay, here I0 square is cancel. Here we write 1 by n is equal to, here u maximum cancel. 1 by n is equal to, what we write here? 1 by n is equal to, here we write 1 minus e power minus r by L into t whole square, r by L into t whole square. Okay, right. Now by removing the proportionality, 1 minus e power minus r by L into t is equal to, we get here 1 by root n. 1 by root n. Now here 1 minus 1 by root n is equal to, we write here e to the power of minus r by L into t. So root n minus 1 by root n is equal to e power minus r by L into t. So I am going to start from this side. Okay. Now take logarithm. So ln root n minus 1 by root n is equal to minus r by L into t ln e. Okay, right. Here t is equal to ln e is, what is the value of ln e? That is nothing but 1. So t is equal to minus L by R into ln root n minus 1 by root n. Okay, right. Now whenever we interchange this fraction, to remove the minus, we interchange this. This can be written as L by R. So we remove the minus so that fraction is interchanged. ln root n by root n minus 1. Root n divided by root n minus 1. So our option is option 2. Right. Next problem from thermodynamics. The change in magnitude of the volume of an ideal gas when a simple additional pressure delta P is applied at constant temperature is the same as the change when the temperature is reduced by a small quantity delta T at constant pressure. the initial temperature and pressure of the gas were 300 kelvins and 2 atmosphere respectively. If delta T is equal to C into delta P, then value of C in Kelvin per atmosphere is. So this problem is due in two cases. Case 1. What is the case 1? So a small amount of additional pressure delta P is applied at constant temperature. Apply Boyle's law to this ideal gas. PV is equal to constant. Differentiation about equation, we get P into delta V plus V into delta P is equal to 0. Delta P is equal to 0. So here P into delta V is equal to, we write minus delta P. P in delta P. Now here we write delta V, change in magnitude of volume, is equal to minus V into delta P by P. Delta P by P. This equation assumed as 1. Now case 2. What is the case 2 here? In case 2, here the same change in volume when the temperature is reduced by small quantity delta T at constant pressure. That means we obtain same change in volume when the temperature is reduced by at constant pressure. That means we know that PV is equal, we write here nRT. PV is equal to nRT. P into delta V is equal to, we write here nR into delta T. Right here delta V is equal to, we write delta V is equal to what we write here. So nR delta T by P. Okay. So this change in volume, this magnitude of change in volume, both are equal. We take only magnitude. So here equation 1 is equal to equation 2. Please neglect negative sign, which we take only magnitude, mod delta V is equal. Mod delta V is same. Okay. So V into delta P by P is equal to, we write here N or delta T by P. Here PP cancel. Now what we write here, PP cancel, delta T is equal what we write here, V by NR into delta P. Equation 3. But in problem, what they given here? In problem, they given here delta T according to problem is equal to C into delta P. Okay, delta T is equal to. This is equation 4. That means in the place of V by NR, we put C. Delta T is equal to C into delta P. C is equal, we write here delta T by delta P. Here delta T is equal how much here? Delta T is equal to 300 Kelvin and delta P is equal to 2. That is equal to how much here? 150 Kelvin per atmosphere. So this is our option. A cube of metal is subjected to hydrostatic pressure of 4 gigapascal. Okay. The percentage change in length of the side of the cube is close to. They given bulk modulus. K is equal to 8 into 10 to the power of 10. 8 into 10 to the power of 10 pascals. We want to find out what percentage change in delta L by L into 100 is equal to question mark. Now, we know that bulk modulus is equal to minus delta P by delta V by V. Delta V by V. We know that delta V by V is related as 3 into delta L by L into 100. 3 into delta L by L. We know that relation gamma is equal to 3 alpha, like that. Gamma is equal to 3 into alpha. Like that, delta V by V is equal to 3 into delta L by L. Here, bulk modulus they given. They given what? Bulk modulus. Here delta V by V is equal to what we write here, minus delta P by K. So 3 into delta L by L is equal to minus delta P by K. Here delta P is equal to, that means the pressure is equal to 4 gigapascals. 4 into 10 to the power of 9 pascals. 1 gigapascal is equal to 10 to the power of 9 pascals. So 3 into delta L by L is equal to minus 4 into 10 to the power of 9 divided by 8 into 10 to the power of 10. Here neglect minus sign. What minus sign tells? When we apply pressure on any body, the volume is decreases. Volume is decreases. So here we write delta L by L is equal to 4 by 24 into 10 power minus 1. 4 1s are 4 6. 1 by 6 into 10 to the power of minus 1. Delta L by L is equal to. So delta L by L percentage change into 100 is equal to 1 by 6 into 10 to the power of minus 100 10 square. That is equal to here 1 by 6 into 10. That is equal to, we get 1.67. 1.67. The distance between an object and a screen is 100 centimeters. A lens can produce a real image of the object on the screen for two different positions between source and object. The distance between these two positions is 40 centimeters. If the power of the lens is close to n by 100 diopter, where n is integer, the value of n is. So this question is asked from conjugative forcing method. Conjugative forcing method. So this is object and this is a screen. In between object and screen, we put a lens. We put a lens at two different positions. At two different positions. So at two different positions, the lens forms a real image on the screen. The distance between two positions of the lens is 40 centimeters. 40 centimeters. The distance between object and screen is 100 centimeters. 100 centimeters. Now, we want to find out what value of n. we know that F is equal to, in conjugative forcing method, the focal length of a lens F is equal to L square minus D square by 4L. Here F is equal to L is the distance between object and screen, that is 100 square, minus D square, the distance between the two positions of the lens, that is here 40 square divided by 4 into 100, divided by 4 into 100. So F is equal to, here we write 10,000 minus 1600 divided by 400, divided by 400, that is equal to, here we write 8,400 divided by 400, that is equal to 21. That is equal to what we get here, 21. Right. We know that power is equal to what we write here. Power is equal to, we write here 100 by F. When F is in centimeters, numerator is 100 centimeters. So according to given problem, what is the given? That is equal to n by 100. N by 100. So here 100 by 21 is equal to n by 100. Now we want to find out what n is equal to. 10,000 divided by 21. 10,000 divided by 21. We get here 476. 476 our answer. Next question. A quantity x is given by, x is given by, here x is given by I f v square divided by w L to the power of 4, where I is moment of inertia, and F is force, V is velocity, and W is work, and L is length. The dimension formula for x is which of the following? Now x is equal to, we write here, x is equal to, write dimension formula for every term. Moment of inertia ml square, force mlt power minus 2, velocity square lt power minus 1 whole square divided by work ml square t power minus 2 L to the power of 4. So x is equal to, here what they cancel here, m into m square, here m to the power of 1. So to the power of m to the power of 2 minus 1, m to the power of 2 minus 1. Bring this m to the numerator. Okay, here L square L cube into L square into L to the power of minus 6 into t to the power of minus 4 plus 2. So finally we get here m to the power of 1, L to the power of minus 1, so t to the power of minus 2. Okay, t to the power of minus 2. So this is similar to energy density, energy per unit volume. we know that here energy density is equal to energy by volume. What is the dimension formula for energy? ml square T power minus 2 divided by L cube. So what we write here? ml minus 1 T power minus 2. So the value of x is energy density. Energy density. So our option is option 2. Option 2. This problem is given from gravitation chapter. Let us read that problem. A body is moving in a low circular orbit about a planet of mass m and radius r. The radius of the orbit can be taken to be r itself. Then the ratio of the speed of the body in the orbit to the escape velocity from the planet is. So here this is a body. This body is moving around a planet of radius how much here? R. So now this body is moving in a circular orbit, so that it has orbital velocity v0 is equal to square root of gr. So in order to escape this body from this planet, so it has velocity ve is equal to square root of 2gr, escape velocity. What they ask here? So the ratio of speed of the body in the orbit to escape velocity from the planet, that means v0 by v is equal to square root of gr divided by square root of 2gr. So v0 by ve, we got 1 by root 2. So this is the answer. The electric field of a plane electromagnetic wave is given by E bar is equal to E naught into x cap plus y cap sin kz minus omega t. Its magnetic field will be given by here the electric field is given by E bar is equal to E naught into x cap plus y cap sin kz minus omega t. Here wave is traveling in z direction, k direction. So now the unit vector in the direction of E bar is, so here the unit vector along x direction and y direction I comma j, I plus j by root 2, I plus j by root 2. So we know that here E bar cross B bar is equal to C bar. So here this is I plus j by root 2 unit vector along electric field direction cross, we do not know B bar, that is equal to C bar. C bar is k cap. Okay, I cap plus j cap by root 2. So now check the options from the following. What are those options here? So those options are option 4. That means here we multiply I plus j by root 2 with minus I plus j, minus I plus j, then we get k cap. Let us check. That is equal I cross minus I 0, I cross j plus k, j cross minus I plus k. Okay. J cross j 0 by root 2 into root 2, that is equal to 2. So 2k by 2, that is equal k cap, that is equal to k cap. So our answer is option 4, that is equal to, for example, if we write E naught is equal to C into B naught, so B naught is equal to E naught by C, that is equal to here B naught is equal to E naught by C minus x cap or minus I plus y cap sin kz minus omega t, kz minus omega t. So this is our correct option. This is our correct option. B naught equal to E naught by C. Okay, next problem. Let us see the next problem. A paramagnetic sample shows a net magnetization of a 6 ampere meter when it is placed in an external magnetic field of 0.4 Tesla at a temperature of 4 Kelvin. When the sample is placed in an external magnetic field 0.3 Tesla at a temperature 24 Kelvin, then the magnetization will be how much? We know that magnetization of a material is directly proportional to magnetic field, inversely proportional to temperature. So here m is equal, by removing proportional we put a constant, that constant is c into b by t. This constant c is called Curie constant. From this we write here m2 by m1 is equal to b2 by b1 into T1 by T2. Right, here M2 is equal to, we write here M1 into P2 by B1 into T1 by T2. So according to given problem, what they given here, magnetization of the sample in first case 4. So T1 6 Kelvin, T2 24 Kelvin. So in the first case magnetic field 0.4, in the second case magnetic field is 0.3. Substituting these values. So here what we write here, M2 is equal to M1 4 into B2 by B1 0.3 by 0.4 into T1 by T2 6 by 24. 4 into 3 by 4 into 6 by 24. 4 cancel. 6 1s are 6 4s. Okay, what we get here, 3 by 4. That is equal 0.75 ampere per meter. So what is our correct option here? Our correct option is option 3. So here in this graph they ask find the displacement of a body from UT graph. So we can find out displacement of a body is area under the line. So of base into height. So S is equal to of base 5 into height 8. So S is equal to how much here? 20 meters. 20 meters. So in photoelectric effect, the graph of stopping potential V versus reciprocal of wavelength obtained is shown in the figure. As the intensity of incident radiation is increased, which of the following option is correct? So which of the following option is correct means here nature of the metal does not change, work function constant, and also frequency of light does not change, mu is equal to constant, mu is equal to constant, and here so the nature of the graph does not change, the nature of the graph does not change. So our option is option 4. Option 4. W is constant. We know that W is constant. Whenever the frequency is constant, stopping potential also constant. Stopping potential also constant. So when slope does not changes, y-intercept also does not changes. So among the following options, option 4 is correct. Graph does not change. Graph does not change. Graph does not change. This is our answer. Orange light of wavelength 6010 to the power of minus 10 meter illuminates single slit of width 0.6 in 10 to the power of minus 4 meters. The maximum possible number of diffraction minimas produced on both sides of a central maximum is. Okay, here we know that condition for minimum, condition for minimum, d sin theta is equal to n lambda. D sin theta is equal to what? N lambda. So here sin theta is equal to n lambda by d. We know that the maximum possible number of diffraction minimum. When sin theta becomes maximum, when sin theta is equal to 1, it becomes maximum. That implies what? N lambda by d is equal to 1. N lambda by d is equal to how much? 1. Okay, n is equal to d by lambda. N is equal to how much? D by lambda. So n is equal to here, what they given here, d is equal to width of the slit 0.6 into 10 to the power of minus 4 divided by lambda. Lambda is 6000 into 10 to the power of minus 10. So n is equal to what we get here, 6 into 10 to the power of minus 5 divided by 6 into 10 to the power of minus 7. So n is equal to, we get 100. So the maximum, the number of minimas are formed is 100, but they ask the maximum possible number of diffraction produced on the both sides of central maximum, both sides. So the maximum possible, diffraction minima produced is, so on the both sides means how much? On the both sides means here 200 is equal to how much? 200. This is our answer. Next question. This question is also from Nuclei. Find the binding energy per nucleon for strontium 50-120. Mass of the proton they given and mass of the neutron they given and mass of tin they given. We know that binding energy is equal to ZMH plus A minus Z into Mn minus M, actual mass of the nucleus. Here mass of the proton mH is equal to, they gave 1.00783 AMU. Mass of the neutron Mn they gave 1.00867 AMU. Mass of the strontium MSN is equal to, actual mass of the nucleus, 119.902 199. And also they gave 1 AMU is equal to 931 MeV. Now let us solve this problem. Binding energy is equal to Z. Z is equal to how much here? Atomic number 50. Z is equal to how much? 50. So 50 into mass of the proton 1.00783 plus A minus Z, 120 minus 50, that is equal to how much here? 70. 70 into Mn 1.00867 minus actual mass of the nucleus 119.902 So binding energy is equal to, so after calculating this one, we get here binding energy is equal to 1020.56 MeV. 1020.56 MeV. I did it in rough notebook. So binding energy is this much. But they ask binding energy per nucleon. Binding energy per nucleon. That is equal to, here we divided binding energy with mass number. 1020.56 divided by 120. That is equal to, here we got 8.5 MeV. 8.5 MeV. So option is fourth option. Option is the fourth option. Okay, next question. They ask match the following. Here adiabatic, isothermal, isochoric, isobaric. Here in this side they given delta W is equal to 0, delta Q is equal to 0, delta U not equal to 0, delta W not equal to 0, delta Q not equal to 0, delta U is equal to 0. So we have to match the following. Adiabatic means what? A process in which total heat is constant. There is no heat exchange between system and surroundings. Delta Q is equal to 0. So 1 is matched to 2. Isothermal. Isothermal process means what? A process in which temperature is constant. When temperature is constant, internal energy also constant, so that there is no change in temperature, there is no change in internal energy. So 2 is matches to 4. Isochoric process. Isochoric process means what? A process in which volume is constant. Volume is constant means there is no change in volume, so that work done 0. So 3 is matches to 1, work done 0. Why? Because dW is equal to PdV, dV is equal to 0, there is no change in volume. So W is equal to dW is equal to delta W is equal to 0. Remaining option is 4, 3. Isobaric process. Isobaric means what? A process in which pressure is constant, that process is called isobaric process. So in isobaric process, dW is equal to PdV. Pressure is constant, but volume is changes, so that dW not equal to 0. dW not equal to 0, right. And also whenever the volume changes, internal energy also changes. So, when heat is given to the system at constant pressure, then work is done and also internal energy also changes. So, option 4 is matches to 3. So, finally, we get 1 2 2 4 2 4 3 1 4 3. So, correct option is fourth option.